I'm Anastasia, and in this video, we're going to explore more astrology. To recap, there are 12 zodiac signs which make up the zodiac wheel. These are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Zodiac circle usually begins with Aries, usually ends with Pisces. At this point in time, please do not be too concerned about whether the zodiac circle is going clockwise or anti-clockwise. We will explore that in a later video. For now, it's just important to remember the order of the zodiac signs, and they go continuously around in the circle. Of the 12 zodiac signs, each one is ruled by one of the 7 major planets. At this point in time, we will not be exploring the minor planets, just the 7 major planets. Some planets rule more than one zodiac sign. But what do we mean by the word rule? We don't mean like a government or a king. It's more about a planet influencing a sign. The planet gives us inherent knowledge about the characteristics of the zodiac sign that it is associated with. The sun and moon are always referred to as planets in astrology. They are the luminaries. The sun brightens up our daylight days, and the moon casts a gentle light if it's a full moon. The sun is affiliated to ideas of a king or a father, and the moon is affiliated with characteristics of a queen or a mother. In astrology, we always make use of the 4 elements. The 4 elements are within everything and are often said to predominate a particular thing. So, for example, water is predominantly water. Fire is predominantly fire. There's much more to the 4 elements that we shall explore in this video. However, for now, just always understand that in astrology, the 4 elements play a very important part in understanding the planets and the zodiac signs. Each zodiac sign and each planet has a predominant element. For example, the zodiac signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are predominantly air signs. This tells us a great deal more about these zodiac signs. These zodiac signs are interested in ideas, dialogue, communication, innovations, and connecting with others. When there are air signs around, they love to discuss ideas, concepts, and engage in their mental faculties. So generally, air signs get along with each other. Then there are the water signs. With the water signs, we know that the water element is dominant. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These signs are more emotional, highly sensitive. They can be more aware about things that are subtle, and they are highly receptive. The fire signs, they have a predominance of the fire element. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Fire signs enjoy doing things. They are about making things happen. They like to be part of the action. They like to initiate things. They're very good at initiating projects, in fact. They have bursts of energy, and they can be impulsive. Then there are the earth signs. Now, the earth signs have a predominance of the earth element. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. These signs tend to do well when there's routine. They enjoy spending time more in nature. They tend to be quite stable. They have a tendency to be stubborn, yet highly dependable, and at times a bit rigid to a certain way of doing things. In bygone times, the four elements were highly regarded, and there was something known as the four humors, which told us about the inherent behavior or characteristics of a person. And when we discover the four humors, or we go back to explore them, we can see there's a distinct association with the elements. You may have heard of these words. Someone is sanguine. That person tends to be phlegmatic. They have a lot of phlegm. They're always prone to sinus problems. That man is highly choleric. Or you could hear, that person tends to be melancholic. Now, it's worth your time to go and look up these words if you don't know them. But to give very brief descriptions, we're going to associate them with the elements. Air is linked to sanguine. They tend to be more jovial and light. They're not worried about the serious things in life. Water is linked to phlegmatic. They tend to be sluggish. They're prone to phlegm, developing a lot of phlegm in their body. Fire is linked to choleric. They're highly energized. They tend to have a red undertone to their skin. Earth is linked to melancholic. They tend to brood over things. This can sometimes lead to depression or excessive worry. These are very brief explanations. And in times gone by, these were very helpful ways of understanding why a person was the way they were. In today's age, we often use astrology to predict events. However, it can be so much more profound to understand our behavior, because once we understand our behavior, we can almost predict what we are going to do in a specific situation. Being aware of ourselves leads to heightened development. Once we're aware of things, we can step back and choose our response more mindfully. Thank you for watching this video.